Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Natty subscribed. Oh, and it didn't show. Well, I'm gonna make sure that we see this. That's the beauty of this technology, is we do get to revisit that in just one moment. I haven't done this in a while. Okay, you guys can sit down. I'm crying out loud. We are pushing the CPU. I can see right now. We are choppy. What can I close? Hold on. Let's see if I can close a couple of programs. Get some CPU back. I'm having to yell over this. Hold on. What's happening here?
It's the Bob Doyle Show.
Right. Bob Doyle Show. All right, I knew that part.
It's the Bob Doyle Show.
Just let them sing for a second.
It's the Bob Doyle Show.
See, as I said.
It's the Bob.
All right. As I said, over on Facebook, there's people watching that video that is now over, and they should be over here. So Sarah's here, and Steve is here, and look, we've got comments coming up, and isn't that great? But there's something that's not happening, and I'm trying to remember what. It's because I just don't remember how to do all this. Hold on. This will just give me a second, I think. What I'm trying to do is relive the magic when Natty subscribed, but everything's really slow. I can see that it's kind of coming across like. Well, hold on a second. Who are all these people who subscribed? Is this correct? I saw Natty subscribe, and yet I don't see it over here. I don't know what channel she subscribed to. That's weird. But we did have, can I do this again? What is happening? I just don't remember how to do anything. So let's just go back to what I do know, which is just being here right now. Ladies and gentlemen, I know it's been a really long time since we've done one of these shows, and it's just, what can I tell you? The Boundless Living Challenge took over my life, and it still is a big part of my everyday, because I won't stop till I have so many people doing the Boundless Living Challenge that I can't even count that high. And I can count pretty high. I'll just tell you right up front. I've done some studying on sequential numbers, and it started with 1 to 10, and from there it was just pretty much easy. So I don't really know. But speaking of education, there's a little bit of a theme that's going to happen here. But I wanted to share a little something with you that I think you guys could acknowledge. So last weekend, I guess it was last weekend, I went to this workshop. That's not it either. What was it called? It was a breathing thing. It was called Conscious Breathing and Healing or something like that. With my friend Zach Rader did it. And it's this really cool thing where, it's a breathing thing. I won't get into it. That's not why I talked about it. What I wanted to bring up is this weird, strange thing that happens when you go into, I guess, events in general, but I found anything this happened in a yoga studio, okay? So everybody had their yoga mats and their pillows and their blankets. I had mine. It was cozy, I got to say. But there's that weird thing when you go to an event, and tell me if this is true. Tell me if you can relate to this. Nobody knew each other. And I think particularly with yoga, this is a funny thing. Now, if you've ever taken a yoga class, maybe you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, well, I'm just telling you about it now. Oh, wait, first of all, subscribe for crying out loud and click the bell. Okay. That way you'll get notified next time this happens. It seems so quiet. It seems like ridiculously quiet in here. Like it's uncomfortably quiet. Like I'm so aware. You like the new one, huh? Me too. That old one with me with my mouth open, that just wasn't happening anymore. We got to up level. This is everything about my life right now is up level, up level, up level, up level. Say it with me. One of you did. Thanks. I could hear you off in the distance, so it wasn't quite so quiet. So you go into a yoga thing, and so everybody's got their mat and their pillow, and nobody really knows how to be, right? It's not like this social thing where everybody's, hey, how's it going? Da, da, da. Right? It's real quiet. And everybody's wondering, who knows what we're supposed to be doing? Like, what's the proper thing to do here? So everybody rolls out their mat. That's a given. Hill says, when you breathe, you're oxidating your body. When you breathe intention, you're also giving your blood. Yes, and I'm telling you, I could go on and on about the breath. People who follow me for a while, and certainly people who are in my coaching group and the Boundless Living Challenge know that I have just given myself over to various breathing things because it's the best drug on the planet. But that's a topic for another conversation. If you want to talk about breath with me in depth, come join the Balanced Living Challenge, for crying out loud. And that and many other benefits await you. Am I right, ladies and gentlemen? Where do I push the button? There we go. Okay. So there's that awkwardness, and you look at how people are dressed. Well, they must know what they're doing because they're dressed in that yoga stuff. So maybe we should all be doing what they're doing. Should we be stretching right now because that guy's stretching right now? Or maybe I'll just sit here. Or no, I'm just going to try and play it cool. I'm going to act like I don't need to know what's going on. That's me. That's how I do it. I'm just going to sit here because that's what I'm comfortable with, right? Watch the replay. What? Jane, all right. What, you got an appointment or something? You can't watch it live? Or is it like one of these things where you just don't, it could be a train wreck and you just don't want to watch it live? You can't handle, it's like the tension of watching live sports. I'd much rather watch it after the fact when I know how it's going to end, that no one gets hurt. Like I can't watch it, I can't go to a circus. And you can't make me. So don't even try. I don't care if it's Cirque du Soleil. I don't care how great the circus is. You're not getting me to go. I'll watch a DVD of the circus. Why? Because it'll say, oh, by the way, somebody fell. You know, I just can't. No, it's too, and they mess with you, those circus people. Last time I went to a circus when I was very young, you know, they do that whole, they're tightrope walking or they're doing the motorcycle thing on that impossible whatever, and they go, whoa, they fake you out like they're going to fall. That's not funny. Hi, Tony, the dental assisting instructor. Now that is one heck of a username. So I won't watch it because every now and again, every few years or so, you hear about some hideous thing that happens in the circus. And every single time I'm glad I wasn't there because I don't need that image in my head. I don't want to see it. It's not worth it. Show me the DVD where I know that everyone lives happily ever after and I'm on board. But you don't expect me to go to a circus where there's a high wire or a trapeze or there's any death defying. I'm not into the death defying. Is that clear? Does that tell you a little bit about me? Don't be messing with my head thinking that, oh, I might die right now. Not funny. Not funny. How did the circus thing happen? Seriously, I'm so derailed. I've derailed myself so tremendously that I don't remember how I got to the circus. Oh yeah, my parents drove me and I'll never forgive them. No, seriously, guys, hold on. What the heck was I talking? Breathing, yoga, right. Whew. How did I get to the circus from a yoga class? All right, so everybody's watching and comparing how am I supposed to be. So I'm just sitting there, you know, cross-legged. I'm kind of playing the game, and I'm just watching everybody else. And some people are doing like meditative things, and some people are, you know, it's just that whole, you know what I'm talking about, right? When you go into a thing and you're comparing yourself with everybody. Am I doing this right? Am I being here correctly? Look, maybe some of you aren't that way, but some of you gotta be. Everybody wants to act like they know what the heck's going on. I got this. Oh yeah, I go to yoga all the time. This is the place I go, so this is how I know exactly how to be. But it wasn't a yoga class, but it was just, we had all the yoga paraphernalia, so I think people were in their heads, but how am I supposed to be on this? All right, that's an aside. I don't have a ta-da at the end of that story. By the way, if you're new to this show, I don't have ta-das at the end of a lot of my quote-unquote stories. So I was at the grocery store. Actually, I was at the grocery store just a minute ago. I just got back from the grocery store because I was out of skim milk, and therefore I could not make this cappuccino that I'm drinking right now. And I was all set up to do the show, and I'm like, well, I can't do the show, obviously. I don't have a cappuccino, and I can't make a cappuccino till I get some skim milk, and I can't get skim milk till I go to the store. So off to the store I go. Natty says, how many channels do I have on YouTube to subscribe to? Well, two main ones, really. I do have three. This one, and then the Wealth Beyond Reason. I think it's youtube.com/Wealth Beyond Reason, maybe. And that's where a lot of the law of attraction stuff is. And then there's another one, which I think is just Boundless, Wealth Beyond Reason / Boundless, which is a lot of ukulele stuff and a bunch of other crazy stuff, which should probably be on this channel. But look, I don't know what I'm doing. Speaking of social media, before I get into the grocery store story, I did share yesterday that on my Facebook timeline, where I do a lot of interacting with people, and if you don't follow me on Facebook yet, which I know that most of you do, but this is just for the future people, would you come on over? Would you come on over? Facebook.com/boundlessliving. That oddly is my personal timeline. Not Bob Doyle, not something personal, but in fact, Boundless Living. You're welcome, Natty. And then, yeah, just do that. Okay, that's where lots of fun stuff is happening. But recently, as of late, I am starting too many sentences at a time, and I never do that. This is a first. Look, if you don't follow me on Instagram, would you please do that too? I know I'm giving a lot of orders today, and I don't really mean to seem so militant. I truly don't. I'm a nice guy, and I really, when I say go do this right now or else, I really mean, would you, if you don't mind, if it's not too much trouble, I would really a lot appreciate it, broadcast news, if you would be so kind as to go to Instagram.com/Bob Doyle Show and follow me there. Why? Why? It just seems like a nice thing to do. I mean, I do stuff there. I'm going to do some stuff more there. Yeah, never say never is right. Anywho, go over there because I think, and I know I make empty promises like this all the time, but I think I'm going to be more active over there. One of the things about that, it was always called Bob Doyle Uke. That was my Instagram handle, Bob Doyle Uke, and I never posted ukulele videos. I never. I've got 400 something posts over there. Not one, I don't think one is even me playing the ukulele. And Bob Doyle Show is what I want to brand with anyway. So I just learned yesterday that I could even change it. I didn't know. That's how out of the Insta loop I am. So, Bob Doyle Show, okay? Go over there and follow, because what I'm doing now is they have IGTV, Instagram TV, where you can do videos of up to 10 minutes. And one of the things I've been doing on my timeline recently in Facebook, for whatever reason I got started on this and now I cannot stop, is doing these little cooking videos, which now we have decided, to hashtag as Now You Make It. So now it's the Now You Make It series of cooking videos. Some of you have seen them. And look, they're not ready for prime time in my opinion. I'm getting a lot of nice comments and suggestions and things, but I don't feel like I've really found my voice on those yet. But I'm still doing them, and I'm going to work it up, and because I love to cook and it's fun to make those videos. And yesterday I was turned on to an app that is up-leveling those tremendously, and I'm using that app to do the up-leveled versions, which are also in progress, finding how I'm going to up-level on IGTV. So if you go to Instagram, follow me at Bob Doyle Show, and then check out IGTV. You'll see 3 of those cooking videos. I'm not just going to do cooking videos on there. I'll do all kinds of other things that are longer form, and probably, ironically, start playing the ukulele over there and posting little things like that. Marianne, nice to have you. Marianne, are you subscribed? Because if you subscribe, your name is going to appear in lights right here. And I think hopefully we'll even hear a little sound if you do that. And you just, you click subscribe, and then you click the bell, and then it'll happen. So you will be. Okay. There. Now, hold on. It says new subscriber. Why is it not showing up? What is happening? Normally, it comes right up and goes, ta-da, and there's a thing, right? That didn't happen. Something's changed. Oh, there it is. It just took a second. Hooray, ladies and gentlemen. Let's welcome Marianne. Patience, Bob. Patience, patience. From what I understand, it's a virtue. So the Bob Doyle Show Instagram account is just filled with crazy crap. Whenever I get some new app that makes my face weird, you can bet you're going to see a whole series of things there. So go check it out. Lots of, if you like the Bob Doyle Show, and maybe you don't even know yet, maybe you're clear you don't. Either way, go over to the Bob Doyle Show Instagram account, okay? Not right now, because we're doing something here. Well, you know what? Pick up your phone. You can do it in the background. It's not like you have to see everything I'm doing. This isn't necessarily a visual show. Like sometimes these shows are super visual because I'm interviewing, high profile guests like my wisdom tooth that was taken out, things like that. But today's not like that. So I was at the grocery store and I have to click over here for a second. And I walked in, and what to my wondering eyes, anyway, to my eyes appeared this. Now, folks, today is August 20, for those of you who aren't watching live, this is August 27th, 2018. August 27th, 2018. Now, why am I saying August over and over and over again? Because if you'll notice, what we're looking at here is in fact, and this was taken last week actually, these are Halloween decorations. That's all I have to say about that. Now, I'm not really one of those people who gets legitimately bent out of shape about early decorations, because who cares? Why do people get bent out of shape about that? I don't care if they put up Christmas stockings. Like, we've got this whole thing. I don't, but a lot of people do, that they get ticked. I know I've talked about this on a previous show, I'm sure. But they get all ticked off when they see early Christmas. Because what? It's commercializing it, whatever. Guys, deal with it. Celebrate it in your own way. You don't have to get mad at a store for putting up, Do you get mad at them when they sell tomatoes out of season? No, you don't. You buy the tomatoes because you're thankful to have them. I mean, what if you did? What if you go into this? It's winter. If this is not tomato season, this is disgusting. I'm not coming in this store ever again. People just choose the craziest stuff to get bent out of shape about. Am I right, ladies and gentlemen? This microphone is in my way. You already know that part. Hold on, let me change this a little bit too. There we go. And see, I had this all set. Trick or treat to go with that picture. See, I'm all out of whack. My timing's just not right. But here's another thing about the grocery store that I'd like to call your attention to. Have you noticed how we all become psychic in the grocery store? Bob, what do you mean? Give me an example. Give me one example of how I become psychic in the grocery store. And since you said we all become psychic, I assume you're talking about other people too. Happy with that store because they noticed you know what? That's so funny, Sarah, that I wondered who was going to notice the gluten-free sign. And it was you. Congratulations. I don't have a prize for you, but that's also, it doubles as the prize bell. The subscription bell can also double as the prize bell. All right. How do we become psychic? I'm going to tell you right now. Are you ready? This is another thing, just like the yoga thing, that it's entertaining and fun to listen to me say because you can relate to it. This is another one of those things. So you're going down the aisles, right? You're coming down one end, and then at the other end, there's somebody looking at something on the shelf, and their cart's in the way. They don't look at you, but they just move their cart. Or you're walking down this way, and the other person's walking down this way, and you just, without saying a word, without making eye contact, without anything, there's just this sort of subtle, you know what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about when you get right up there and it's like you have to go, no, it's talking about when you've got this unspoken connection. This is the international sign for unspoken connection. Look it up. Later. We're talking right now. Okay? It's just, you watch. Next time you're at the grocery store or any place where there's aisles and you got to have a cart, you watch how you have the psychic connection. You all just know how to do the dance without saying a word. And it can be people that you would never even talk to because they're too damn scary looking, am I right? Because, I mean, let's face it. People who go to grocery stores are scary. That's just across the board true of 100% of all people who go to grocery stores, except you and me. All right. So speaking of stores, see, what I'm trying to do is link all of my topics. Now, I think the yoga was a big disconnect, and somehow we got to a circus, which I still don't remember what that's about. But speaking of stores, did you hear that? That's me getting a voiceover job. Okay, and you can say that you saw it right here. No need to laugh. It's not funny. I just wanted to push the buttons, right, honestly. I'm waiting for you to stop to laugh. There. I'm just pulling out all the Bob Doyle Show tricks right now because it's been a while, right? So I just gotta boom, 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 boom. Okay. We'll do this one too while we're at it, while we're just pulling out all the stops. Now this always, the past, I don't know, 5 times I've used this thing, it has, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm just gonna say betrayed me. Like I turn it on and then I do what I'm supposed to do and then this takes forever and it's awkward and all the humor goes away. But I'm gonna try it right now anyway. Thank you. You worked very nicely this time. But you are still being rude by repeating everything I say. Now look, this is a thing that you do when you're a child. Stop repeating me. All right, I'm not. All right. So Steve says, I like to put on the Halloween mask at the grocery store in August and shop. I guess that's scary. On so many levels, Steve, because then what do? You put the mask back, and now you've got your mouth, and you breathe and steam and all that other stuff, and then the unsuspecting next person who has your mentality goes, oh, just try on this mask. I'm sure no one else did it before me. The next thing you know, you're in bed with some kind of weird cold. How did I get that? Because you licked the same mask as 12 other people that day. You know, one of those things, Halloween masks, this major derail, but it's Steve's fault. I always wanted a good rubber mask, like the eyeball hanging out, the whole like the grossest, most close to Hollywood looking mask I could get. But as I was a kid growing up, those things were always like $70, and who had that kind of money at that time? I worked at Burger King, for crying out loud. So I always wanted that. But then as an adult, it was like, I don't know, you have kids and you're all that, it's just not appropriate, I guess. Whatever weird societal rules we have. Why would you want one of those? And of course, when I was with Lynn in Marina Del Rey, that's certainly not her style. If I had bought one of those gross masks, I might have been moving here 3 years ago. I don't know. What the hell am I talking about? This is private business. You all stay out of my affairs, will you? Anyway, Halloween masks. Yes, they're fun. I still my Lord of the Rings, which I've never read or seen and know nothing about. Now my secret fantasy, and I should have done it when I was in LA/Hollywood, and I think I put the call out there once or twice. Now I want true Hollywood makeup. I want something done. The full-blown, whether it's like really old man or something creepy or whatever, like the whole real prosthetic thing. I want somebody to come do, I want to have to sit in the makeup chair for like 3 hours. That's what I don't know why I want that. It's just one of those things I've always wanted. Just make me up and make me scary. That seems like it wants me to rhyme. It wants me to say a different thing because that had a certain rhythm. Make me up, make me scary, da-da-da-da-da-da, Larry. Whatever. Anyway, I'm not doing it. I see that somebody over there subscribed to my Instagram account, so that's really awesome. I didn't notice who it was. Steve is making French fry jokes about Burger King, which was my very first real job. And here's what I've always said about this. I'm sure I've shared this on the show too. But you know, we've got new people, and I probably said this 2 years ago. I hated that job so much for obvious reasons that I always swore that one day, when I was a grown-up, successful, or at least had a paycheck or whatever form money came to me, that I would go back. Now, this was way before American Beauty came out. That's the end of that sentence. And I would go get a job at Burger King, clearly overqualified, but I'd get the job just so I could quit in a hugely loud way, like really obnoxious. But see, of course, as an adult, I don't have the same angst as I had when I was 16 years old. I don't know where it went. Maybe it's under the bed, or maybe I left it at the circus with the scary ass clowns and that motorcycle guy who messed with my head. In any case, I probably won't be doing that, and it probably wouldn't be good for my reputation. It depends on which reputation I want to maintain. Bob Doyle from The Secret wouldn't be good. Bob Doyle Show may be perfect. I don't know. Anyway, I'm not going to do it. It's not fair to Burger King, although there is one right across the street from where I live. No, I can't do it. Don't try to talk me into it. I know some of you are going, you should do it, but don't. I'm not going to. Where the hell was I? I was going to say something. I was actually going to go off on something of a tangent that wasn't funny at all. Not that this is fun. Look, I'm not being presumptuous here. I'm just doing my stupid stuff. It's the same old thing. I'm just talking without thinking. This was, like I said, this is bare bones. This is bare bones Bob Doyle Show. Halloween mask. Well, I felt like there was one other thing I was going to say, though. We talked about yoga and the circus, which wasn't planned. We talked about school. Oh, yeah. I will wrap it up with this, even though this wasn't what I was going to say. I mean, it is, but not the, oh, forget it. So I was at this place. It was a mart where they sell walls. I've done this bit before. Anyway, I was there, and I was behind, and this wasn't just the other day. This was like 2 weeks ago. This has been on my list, seriously, since August 2nd. And I'm just now getting to it. Not nearly as relevant now. But I'm standing behind a woman with her 3 kids, and her cart is filled with school supplies. You know this cart? Spiral-bound notebooks, mechanical pencils, crayons, glue sticks. Are you getting that sickening feeling right now? Me too. When I looked at that, there was two simultaneous things. There was that sense of because if I didn't project it, if I didn't forecast this, telegraph this, that's the word I'm looking for. I'm not a fan of school. I was never really a fan of school. And see, this was going to go right into my next subject, which was probably going to take a good 10 minutes. But I'm not going to extend this past 30 minutes. I'll have to do this some other time, but I really want to. But you know, my hands are tied, producers. You know, I gotta stick within the time limit. Well, Sarah, then I have banana car outside the banana car. Sorry, you've lost me. Anywho, school supplies gave me that sense of like everything came back to me. You know, when you go to school and you've got all those things, and sometimes you have to give them, like this trend became, come to school with this stack of stuff, and then you give it to the teacher, basically, and then they dole it out over the course of the year. But just the whole idea of seeing that stack of stuff meant another year of that miserable, kids, you should turn off the radio right now and watch this show. Because the radio is just nothing but commercials and bad music. This right here, you can learn something. And that is that school is terrible. That's right. That's the lesson, boys and girls. School is a waste of your time and it's horrible, and don't do it. He laughed, hiding his truth feelings. Anyway, look, I'm sorry. That's not what I meant to say at all. But clearly I was not a fan of school. And seeing all those school supplies just brought that whole wave of, but at the same time, and just as equally as powerful, was that whole sense of, I don't have to do that. Ever. I will never. And I don't, and the kids, I don't have to buy school supplies for kids anymore. So, because I had to do, went through that period too. 3 kids through school, 3 years of the school supplies and buying the notebooks and all that stuff. She was buying for 3. And it's a lot, you know. It's like even when you're shopping at the Mart of Walls and everything's like 97 cents or whatever, it adds up. That's not the point of this at all. That wave of relief that I'm done with that. And I never have to buy another glue stick again if I don't want to. I don't ever have to buy another mechanical pencil or a spiral bound notebook or any of those things. I'm done with it. But I think if I balance out the feelings, I was more bummed for the kids than I was happy for myself. And now I'm being punished divinely. All right, well, there you go. 30 minutes and 50 seconds of zero. But we did it together, you and I. And that's it. It was just us, not a big group. It was just this small little, very small little enclave of you, if you will, or of you will. Fill in your preposition, whichever you want. Tony says, you changed my life. I own my dental assisting school. And what's going on here? Too many phones ringing. I got to get out of here. I'm going nuts here.
It's the Bob Doyle Show. It's the Bob Doyle Show.